Good afternoon, Glitter Goddesses. This is Sunday, September 29th, surprise show. And I'm going to finish the Dorian pocket now. So in previous shows, I constructed the pocket and matted the pocket. This is the midnight version, so it's a very dark blue, very, very navy, very close to black base. And in previous shows, as far as decorating, we have done the inside layout, which is this, which if you stood it up is what would show on like your mantelpiece. So we finished this, and then we've also done this backside for the decorating. So now we just need to do this front side for the decorating, and I think, yeah. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is, just so we have some symmetry, is I'm going to do, well, actually, no. I said I was going to do like put the 4x6 photo mat here, but I don't think I want to, because I don't know that I want to cover the owls up so completely. So I may just do something sort of like I did here, where I make a little embellishment cluster. And we'll put the 4x6 photo mat here because it's such a plain base. Although, counterpoint, we do already have quite a lot of owls showing, so we could just do a 4x6 there and put something else here. Also, this might be a good place to use something like this. Especially because this we could trim down a little bit so we saw more owls. So let's do that. Let's trim this down so that we see more owls, and maybe use this to make photo corners or something. So we'll start there and see what we like. This printed a little bit off center, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off 3/8 of an inch from this edge. It didn't print off center; it was off center by design. I'm going to cut off a 1/2 inch from the bottom. I'm going to cut off just 1/8 of an inch from this side, and cut a 1/2 inch off the top, and then we'll look at it and see where it might need more trimming. All right, so I think we could lose 1/8 of an inch from this side again, so we'll take another 1/8 of an inch off that side. Yeah, there we go. All right, so that's nice and compact now. So we will see some little owls peeking all around when we put this down. So that's good. So now we just need something for photo corners, I think. And I do like this blue, but I'm just trying to ask myself if it is the right answer, because it's the same pattern as this, and I have a feeling they won't line up well, and I'm not going to be happy with it. So I'm trying to think, what might I like better? Like, would I like wood? Or little polka dots or something. Do I have that blue in a solid? No, I don't. Now I have a lighter blue that's solid, so we'll go with that. It's not totally perfectly exactly what I want, but it's okay. Not everything has to be totally perfectly exactly what I want all the time. And in fact, trying to make everything perfectly exactly all the way that I want every time can really slow me down. So I try to be, it doesn't always work. You guys know because you watch this show. But I do try to be decisive. But, you know, it's not always 100% a success. It's not always a success. Fran says, I'm good with 4 albums because of all the details you put into them. Well, that's my big problem. Well, think of how many albums I could get done if I would just stop waffling on all these details all the time. But that's okay. I've always been a slow crafter, so. Or at least I think of myself as a slow crafter. I don't know if I am. I assume I am. But maybe I'm not. I don't know. I guess I've never tried to time myself with someone else. I used to be a lot more productive, but I used to be younger also, so. But I'm going to be trying a new anti-inflammatory that can also lower blood pressure. So if you guys know, the reason I had to stop taking anti-inflammatories was because they raise the blood pressure and damage the kidneys. And so, but there is one I can try that does not do that. So hopefully that'll work. And then that will help with some of my issues. So we'll see. Because my blood pressure is under control after that whole big deal a year ago. But part of it is that I haven't taken any anti-inflammatory style painkillers in a long time. So, well, in a year. And my pain is not as well managed since that happened as I would like. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. This has a cat hair stuck to it. The best part about my albums is that they're complete. I do try very much that to do that when I can. It's I know that the whole step-by-step decorating process is not for everyone, and it can take some time, but that's my favorite part of the book, and I do like to give you the complete thing when I can. So I do try to do that. Well, I'm glad you're not leaving them. I used to have a real like when I first started, people who've been following me for like 10 years know at one point I had like 40 unfinished projects or something, and I just like went on a it took me a long time to get all of them done, but I either gave away some that with all the stuff that to embellish them so that other people could finish them if they wanted to. So I did actually do a giveaway where I gave away half finished albums, like where if I covered all the chipboard with pattern paper, but I hadn't gotten anywhere else, things like that. That was a weird time. I found some of those when I was doing the conversion. But that was back when all of this was a lot more casual. You know, people just kind of hung out and crafted, and if you didn't finish, you didn't finish. But over the years, I've tried to be better about finishing. Wow, we're on a real memory lane here lately. It must be because of the conversion project. I'm like thinking about the early days of YouTube. Ooh, that would be tough. A police dispatcher. Retirement. I kind of like remember as far as everyone knows, we're a normal family. Although I don't know if anyone believes that really about anyone's family. So, if you think anyone comes from a normal family, they're just hiding it better. That's what they're doing. They're hiding it better. We watched Undone on Amazon. It was on Amazon Prime. It's sort of a time travel or but it's done in a rotoscope because it's very fantastical and surrealist. So that allows them to really play around with the backgrounds. It's really interesting. I think if you find time travel interesting but think it's rarely done well and that it's very annoying, then you might like it. Because I tend to believe, now we're going to have philosophy-crafting again, guys. Time for philosophy-crafting. But I tend to believe that all times exist at once. And so the way that time affects other time is more like things brushing up against each other in a lake than it is like things floating down a river. But a lot of movies like to use the river, you know, where it's like, well, if we could just go back in time, then we could change the thing and then the future will be fine, sort of. And so I think it's very interesting when the time travel is all times existing at once, geared more towards that. which undone was. Oh, I didn't see Arrival. But I'll check it out. Maybe before I really decided I wanted to use this scallop, I should have asked myself if I wanted to cut out a scallop today. I thought Arrival was a linguistics movie more than it was a time travel movie. But speaking of linguistics and time travel, when I was in college, I read Umberto Eco's Island of the Day Before, which is about people trying to figure out longitude. And a lot of books have been written about this, longitude, because latitude was not too hard for them to figure out. But longitude, they had a lot more trouble with longitude. And you need to sail across the ocean and know where you are, because you can't see any land to orient yourself. They needed a way to do that, to know where they were, east versus west. They didn't for a long time know where they were, east versus west. They knew they could figure out where they were north and south, but not east and west. And that's how they would go try to be sailing one place and end up another place during the colonial period. And so, like, kings offered huge rewards for anyone who could figure out longitude, like how to actually know where you were in a ship at sea if you couldn't see the land. And so, and longitude is, there were all kinds of crazy wackadoodle theories about how to do it. And one of them was that you could, like, you could have a person, like a twin, in a city, London, let's say, and then the other one on your ship, and like someone could poke the twin in London at the same time every day, and then you would know when the twin on the boat felt the poke, you could know the time it was in London, and by knowing the time it was in London, you could figure out where you were. So just crazy stuff like this. And so the book is a farce about that, but Umberto Eco is a linguist, so it's also about language and how language is crazy. But the people in the book are trying to find the international date line because they want to go to the island of the day before and fix something that happened. And it's like, that's not how any of this works, guys. Like, it's just like, I mean, good luck. But that's not how time travel works. So, you know, I mean, Godspeed, but no. So it's a bunch of idiots who are trying to circumnavigate the globe and find the international date line for dumb reasons. So the Island of the Day Before. I read that in college. It was one of Umberto Eco. If you've never read any of his books, he's like the kind of writer you have to like read with a dictionary. So his stuff would be a lot easier to read now on the Kindle because you could just press the words you don't understand and you don't know what they mean. You could just press them, and then the Kindle would tell you what they meant. So you wouldn't have to actually look them up like in the early 2000s when I read it. That I had to do. I had to read, like, look things up in an actual dictionary back in ye olden times. All right, so that's going to go there. The only question is, will something else go here? Just to something to be cute, you know. You'd never finish that kind of a book? Well, I had a lot more patience for stuff like that in college. Today, I might not finish a book like that. That would depend on the mood I was in, on whether or not I was, like, you know, feeling smart. Because sometimes I feel smarter than other times. I don't know if that happens to you. And we were like, this is a week where I'm going to be smart. I feel smart this week. I can read a book that's complicated. You save all your gray cells for crafting. I guess we could put this little owl. Maybe we'll just have the little owl poking out. We'll cut off his legs. Ah ha ha, owl. You're gonna lose your legs. You're gonna lose your legs. Jill says sometimes I am actually smarter than other times. You just don't, it's not like you just feel smarter, you just are smarter. You got to take advantage of those moments when you're smart. That's when you've got to do all your planning. You got to plan your stuff. Priya, that's why I'm thinking we need Crafty Book Club so that you can do books and crafting at the same time. Study was just done using fMRI, where they have proven once and for all that the exact same areas of the brain that are activated by reading a book are activated by listening to an audiobook. So there's no difference whatsoever in brain function between reading a book in your hands and listening to a book. The same cognitive and emotional zones are activated. So if we want to be really super smart, glitter goddesses, I mean, we're already brilliant, so, you know, but if we want to be extra mega geniuses, we could listen to audiobooks while we were crafting. All right, so maybe what we'll do is we'll have this little owl peeking out, looking like a creepy little weirdo. Like, I mean, he kind of looks weird. Just like sneaking around the corner. He's like, and then we'll just draw like a little creepy leg for him. My guess is that podcasts are probably activating similar parts of the brain. Because audiobooks and books were activating the cognitive and emotional centers of the brain. Oh, he's not a weirdo. He's great. By the way, if you haven't Googled owl legs yet, you should. because owl legs are totally crazy. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw little legs on for him. All right, so now he has legs again. Shaka says she listens to self-help and biographies on audio, but reads everything else. Ooh, that's interesting. All right, so I'm gonna let this be for a minute. We're probably just gonna put a, well, I'll just put a 4x6 photo there. Let's just say that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, so I'm just gonna cut this down to 4x6. You would just put your photo directly on it, of course. But owl, that's, yes, owl legs are extremely long and their feathers are like a skirt. So I saw a picture of someone holding their feather skirt up, holding an owl's feather skirt up, and they had long feather legs. Their legs like they were wearing tights of feathers. And like, so their body is like hollow inside. They're like a head with giant eyeballs on top of two long legs under a feather skirt. See, I'm mostly reading on Kindle now, and that's because the time of the day that I read the most is there's two times of the day that I read the most, and they are in bed at night. Yes, it looks insane. Yes, Renee definitely found it then. She definitely found it. They look crazy. So in bed at night, because Mr. Lifeguard and I go to bed at the same time, but he goes to sleep earlier than I do because he gets up earlier than I do. So I read for a few hours in the bed at night, and we just have found over the years that it's a lot better for him if I read the Kindle Paperwhite, which it doesn't have backlighting. It's the one where it has lights at the bottom of the screen that point up so that there's no light shining out of the screen, and that's less disturbing to him than any other kind of screen or a book light. All right, so this is the last piece to decorate. So we just need something that'll look cute with this. I hope everyone is finding owl legs. Oh, we do still have this home banner. Let's see. And uh-oh, I hope we haven't ruined owls for Priya. Priya's not supposed to be Googling anyway, though. I heard about her adventures in Google. I did indeed. Candy says, that's what I love about Kathryn's shows. There's always some new mindless trivia to learn. That's right. Did you need to know that owls are 90% leg? No, but now you do. Now you know that information. And I wouldn't say your life is necessarily better, but your life is definitely funnier. Your life is definitely funnier. Oh, except unless you're Priya, in which case owls have been ruined forever, I guess. Sorry that we ruined owls. All right, so I'm going to take this home sign from the collection. By the way, a little bird told me, well, never mind. I'm not going to tell you that. Oh, I didn't realize this was going to be so controversial. I did not realize. They look like bloomers. That's what their legs look like. Like old-timey bloomers. That's what they look like. My mom also texted me the other day to ask me what I thought about vaping because it seems like it might be dangerous. And I was like, are you going to start vaping, Mom? Don't do it. Just say no. Yes, babies. I mean, babies probably are also dangerous. I've heard many a tale from my friends who have lots of them that are make. Uh-oh, Renee's in a Google spiral. Renee's in a Google spiral. Someone save her. I don't know. My guess is she saw something on Facebook and was asking me about it. My mom will sometimes use me as Google. You know, instead of Googling things, she just texts me and asks me. Probably because, like Candy, she knows I know a lot of stupid trivia. So, if my mom wants to know about owl legs, I am there for her. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is make a little string and we'll have the home hanging from it, and then maybe I'll put like 2 owls that we cut out of here to be standing on it, on the string, like birds on a wire. And then that'll just be how we finish the book. So I'm going to put everything else away just to make my desk nice and clean, because I like my desk to be nice and clean. But we are almost done with this pocket, friends. We are almost done with this pocket. Anything you want to know about birds or animals in general? Look, if you want to hear all about birds and why birds and I have such a crazy relationship, just watch the Hometown Summer album, recently remastered, I guess, recently converted to MP4 in the Ustream archives, because you'll hear all about all the incidents in my childhood that scarred me. Why I have so many issues with birds. He wants food? How dare he? How dare he want food when crafting is happening? Scrubbies are so demanding. Scrubbies. Oh, that's a good question. May is asking, who cleans as they craft and who leaves it till they finish? I try to clean as I go and keep my desk clean, but I don't always succeed, so I usually have something to clean at the very end. You know, when I'm totally done with something, there's usually a pile that needs to be organized and put away. I do on the show like to keep things from getting too crazy, just so it's easier for people to see what I'm doing. So I also try to clean as I go on the show, but sometimes cleaning as I go means, like, and this real talk, just means I throw stuff on the floor behind me. And then after the show, I have to trip around all these piles to get to my computer to do the upload. And then while it's uploading, I clean the room. So that's kind of my system. See, the craft room is the only place where I allow stuff on the floor. And it's only craft supplies, and it's only while I'm working. I wouldn't leave the craft room with stuff on the floor. That would bother me intensely. I would not be able to do it. I would not be able to do it. We have made a lot of progress. We got the Dorian pocket done. Well, not yet. I still have to finish this last page. All right, so I've got my two little owls. Perfect. Okay, so Candy says, I work until I have a 6-inch square that I'm working on, then my cat joins me and makes it even smaller. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, so I'm going to ink the edges of everything. and I'll be able to check something off my list. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I don't have googly eyes small enough for the owls. I'm so sad about that. That would be so cute. All right, let me, let's see if I can find, I'm going to go see if I have like a tangerine sort of, to pull this yellow in, or this orange. I'm looking over at my twine and I think I see one. It's a little darker orange than the, well, I've got two. Let me bring them both over. I've got one called cantaloupe and one called mandarin. And I think cantaloupe is too wimpy, yes, and mandarin, oh, mandarin's just about right. Okay, fine. Fine, fine. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 tiny bows. All right, just 2 tiny bows. Eep. All right. And once I've got them, I'm going to put glue 3 places on the knot. And then on the tip of my finger, so that I can pinch it around the ends of the string. All right, there. Okay, so we'll make another tiny bow. Hello, Antoinette. You didn't miss it completely, so that's good. You get to see a little bit. I'm just doing, I know, why did I just decide to wait till the very end to do something with all these fiddly details? I don't know. All right. Oof. All right. So same thing. I'm going to give it 3 dots of glue. 1 on the knot, and then 1 on the tip of my finger, and then the 1 on the tip of my finger. I run the, oops. All right, so there's number 2. All right. Now, okay, so I'm going to get this pretty much where I want it. and then press this down into the glue. Okay, then cut one more time. All right. Since I'm a good Google substitution, I don't know what happened to Ustream. I don't hear anything about them. My guess would be that Twitch completely destroyed them and that they don't exist anymore, if I had to guess. But I could be wrong about that. I don't pay attention to it at all. When I left, it was a never look back kind of situation. Ustream TV. Let's see. I guess it still looks like it's a thing. Does it look like IBM bought them? Yes, IBM bought them. And then IBM uses it as a streaming platform for enterprise solutions. So, okay, cool. Well, look there, we have that answer. So it sounds like it went enterprise, and it was well on its way to being an enterprise solution when I left. And that was part of why I left. It was part of why I left. So, was that they made it clear through their behavior that they didn't care about the people who originally made them famous and popular. And they only cared about big corporations. Just fine, but that's why I left. Okay, so now at the time that I was on Ustream, Twitch was still called Justin TV. And that's what we would sometimes use when Ustream was not working properly, which was often. I will give Ustream, you know, what I'll give them is that they were really ahead of the curve on that, but they didn't ever find a way to capitalize on it with any one particular market the way like Justin TV, now called Twitch, did with video gamers. And they drove away a lot of people with weird decisions over the years. But they probably made more money selling themselves to IBM than they ever would have made doing anything else. So they probably don't care. All right. So now we're going to put a big dollop of glue on the ends here. And then take our string and put it there and there. And we'll let that dry for a little bit while we are putting down our owls and drawing on their legs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw above the O and the M. Going to draw some owl legs. Well, I mean, and you know, it's these companies, They need money to survive. They use venture capital to survive when they're not actually making any money. And the goal of venture capital firms is always to sell to a big corporation. I should have made the legs really, really long like stilts. Now that we know the truth about owl legs. But instead, we're going to have them be cute and snuggling with each other. They're holding their wings. They're holding their little owl wings. Aww. Little twins. Little owl twins. All right, I'm going to put my twine back. Wow, look at that. It's like I can still craft or something. I was wondering after my meltdown on Thursday if I did know how to craft still. I'm telling you, you take 1 week off. My twine is from the Twinery. That's the twine I like. They have really great colors and it's not too expensive. And they have nice variety packs if you want to try them out. All right, so I'm just gonna cut this down like so. So it's not too long. And that's it. That's the little book. Ah, I missed a trash. I missed a piece of trash. All right, so now we can do one final flip through the midnight version of the Dorian pocket. So this is the front. And you open it like this. See your little owl family. And you open it like this. And of course, all of the pockets have, these are photo mats for 4x6 photos. So you can put a 4x6 photo on the front, on the back, or you can glue 2 4x6 photos back to back and stick them in the pockets as well. It's up to you how you want to do it, but that's what's in every single pocket. All right, so that's what's in every single pocket. And then we've got a 4x6 photo mat there, and then together, this whole side is all Owl City. You know, this is the owl side. And then it opens like this. So you can set it out if you want to set it out for people to display, to see it on display. So you could like do FALL and it could be your fall banner or whatever you want to do. So it looks like this, all laid out. And again, there's all the pockets. So you can get 2 photos in each of these pockets at least. And then this is the back. And it opens like this. So very, very cute. In the end, it turned out very, very cute. So this is the Dorian pocket. It is one of the things you'll learn in the TRI-FOLIO tutorial. That's where it comes from. So this is another version of it. Same thing, only I didn't angle the pockets. So you can put a 4x6 photo on the front of the pocket. And then you can put a photo mat on the inside. So there's not as much room for decorating on this one as you can see because of the photos themselves. However, the photos look really cute like on the mantle when you spread it out like this. So, this makes a great display album. The other thing it makes is a great gift for someone who's not a big crafter, who might just want something to display in their home or throw in their purse, because it's fun, because it has so many different ways it opens, you know. So it's fun to look through, but it's not too hard to make. So it's great for brag books as well, because you can crank them out pretty quickly. and the person can display it in their home if they choose to, or just enjoy it in their purse or on their desk, whatever. So it's actually a really fun project. So thank you to everyone who contributed to the Hurricane Dorian Disaster Relief streams. That's why it's now called the Dorian Pocket. We renamed it officially since we did raise $1,000 for Bahamas Red Cross throughout this whole process. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It makes a great brag book. All the videos for this, decorating this version, come with the tutorial, as well as if you have the archives, all the videos are in there as well, from the Dorian streams. So, or the Bahamas streams. So, it's all in the archives. There's always a link in the descriptions of these live streams for how to become a member and get access to the archives, so that you can see all the past shows I've done over, you know, the 10 years that I've been streaming live. There's over 1,500 videos going back a decade at this point. Many of my earlier ones have measurements because I streamed for years before I started writing tutorials, and I write very few tutorials just compared to the amount of projects I've done over the years. So there's a lot of stuff in the archives as well that has measurements that make easy gifts as well. And just as a heads up, I will be announcing in the next couple days on the Facebook group a contest that's going to run between October 1st and Black Friday for posting older projects, posting your take on older projects. So I'm going to post all the details for that on October 1st, which I think is Tuesday. And that'll be in the Glitter Gang Facebook group. So check us out at facebook.com/groups/Kathryn Scraps. So, because there is going to be a contest, and we did just convert the Ustream folder. So you will be able to easily watch the stuff in that folder to pick something that you want to recreate. And then just so that you don't have to have access to the archives to participate in this contest, I am going to also allow you to use stuff that I posted on YouTube way back in the day. So like I have paper bag albums on YouTube, different techniques I've shown over the years there as well that you can create. And I'll put some links to stuff you can use from YouTube as well. So we'll all have an opportunity coming up to share. I am 90% sure I'm going to make the prize a Rototrim M12. Or if you're living in some place that I can't ship a Rototrim to, the prize would be, you know, the equivalent of what a Rototrim costs in money to, like, let's say the scrapbook store of your choice. So that's coming up. So be sure to go to Facebook and check that out. Join the group so that you won't miss it when that's posted. So thank you so much for joining me, Glitter Goddesses. You're the best. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And I will be back on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time with more of the Half the Fun album portrait oh boy version. Thanks so much for joining me. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications so you know when I go live. And check this video description for links to everything I just mentioned. Bye now.